Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Serein, and today's video is going to be a detailed review on the ZIIP Beauty Micro and Nano Current, which is supposed to help with lifting and toning your skin. I've tried this out for about 2 months. I tried to do it at least 4 to 5 times a week, and I have photos that I will insert of before, middle, and after. If you're curious about the ZIIP Beauty device, or you're looking into microcurrents and nanocurrents to use at home, make sure to stay tuned. If you're new around here, I used to create beauty content over on my beauty channel for the last 8 years, and I did weekly product reviews, very in-depth reviews, as well as Tester Tuesdays and all of that stuff. So what are my credentials? I am a longtime beauty lover and ex-beauty guru. Now in my 40s, I'm a busy working mom, and I want my products to really work for me. I don't mind spending and investing a little bit more if I find that there's benefit to it and that I'm able to use it consistently, because consistency is key when it comes to skincare and at-home devices. Nothing is going to replace a professional treatment, but you can maintain and prevent at home. So first thing you want to know about microcurrents. I've used microcurrents on some level, specifically using a NuFace device for about 8 years. I used it on and off. I would be very consistent, and then I would kind of just maintain. That's the issue with at-home devices. You want to make sure that when you buy an at-home device that you're able to be consistent for at least 30 to 60 days to see any initial results, and then to use it maybe a couple times a week to maintain those results. The great thing about these at-home devices now with red light therapy, blue light therapy, nano and microcurrents is that you are able to intensify your skincare routine at home, more invasive things in professional offices. Again, consistency is key, and you're not going to get an at-home facelift. For about 8 years on and off. I had the one device for 8 years, and then I finally upgraded to the Trinity. I have a lot of mixed things about the Trinity. I almost liked my older version because it was less bells and whistles. So if you're curious about the NuFace device, which is just microcurrent, but you are also able to use red light therapy with that, and there's different types of attachments with the NuFace. I am happy to do a detailed review of that as well. After using the ZIIP Beauty device for over 1 full month, at least 4 to 5 times a week, I've got some opinions. Starting with the positives, it's very compact. As you can see, there's no real bells and whistles. It is just a flat device with 2 of the microcurrents and nanocurrent. It doesn't even come off, and you'll have this little area right here where you're going to charge the device. The on and off button is here. The device itself is very compact, very lightweight, and very sleek. It's got the timer already built in, and there's really no bells and whistles, but it's quite effective. When you use a microcurrent, you're always going to want to make sure you have an activating gel. I was using the one that came with the initial device. This is the ZIIP Electric Complex Conductive Gel. So you always want to make sure your skin is clean, free of any skincare products, makeup, or sunscreen. And then you're going to apply a generous amount of the gel on one side of your face. And then you're going to start from the bottom and move up. You'll want to make sure that both of the metal prongs are attached to your skin in order to get the full effect of the micro and nano current. The difference between the ZIIP and the NuFace is that the ZIIP is using micro and nano. Micro is going to initially lift and tone those muscle structures and kind of give you that lifted effect of your face. Your facial muscles is what the microcurrent is doing. It's kind of like those old-fashioned toning devices that women would stand on and kind of just shake. It's working out the facial muscles, and when you're pulling up, it's training those facial muscles to tone up. A lot of the times, if we're frowning, if we're smiling, it's working our facial muscles in a specific way, and And the microcurrent is kind of toning it up and doing those lifting motions of those facial muscles. So initially you're gonna see a small noticeable difference of those facial muscles being lifted because you're working out the facial muscles with the microcurrent. The nanocurrent is going to really help skin look a little bit more radiant. It's gonna help with a little bit of the redness and discoloration. It's gonna help with the overall complexion. So that's really the difference between the micro and the nanocurrent, and it's also the difference between the base, which just focuses on the microcurrent, and the ZIIP, which focuses on micro and nano. The other thing I really liked about this is that because there's no bells and whistles, all you're gonna do is move through your facial structure, lifting up, and it beeps when you're done. It's about 4 minutes. Conductive gel helps the micro and nano currents actually absorb into the skin. It also makes it more comfortable because it is kind of zappy. Something that I really loved about the ZIIP Beauty was that out of all of the at-home microcurrents I have tried, I definitely felt it. It made my left side of my face twitch. You could definitely feel the muscle structure underneath your skin twitch and work. Hopefully you can see it on camera when I'm using this. Labial folds of my face would definitely be twitchy. And that made me feel like it was working more effective than my face was. This is definitely more intense. So if you're somebody who's super sensitive, you'll want to use more conductive gel. But I do find that this is a little bit more intense when it comes to the micro nano current. I don't see a huge difference with a lifted face. I think because I see my face constantly every day, not just in the mirror, but while filming and editing content. So I know that based on others, they saw a huge difference. I'm gonna put the photos up. You guys can decide for yourself. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, at-home devices are more preventative with slight subtle changes. And if I want anything dramatic, I'm gonna have to go see a plastic surgeon at some point. Some of the cons to this device, if you're looking at-home microcurrent, the first one is that there are no real settings. So you're not going to be able to tone it up or tone it down. You're just gonna have to adjust your comfort level with the amount of conducting gel that you're using. The other thing I really didn't like about this device is that this little piece here where you are charging, and they did give me a spare piece, but this kind of doesn't stay attached all the time, and it's very easy for it to fall out. So if that happens and you get conductive gel into that charging port, it could essentially ruin your device. So I do wish that they came up with a better system to close this little electric outlet off better. I do feel like the charge lasts an incredible amount of time. I didn't actually let the charge fully run out, and it was still going strong after a month. I just charged it after a month because I felt like I should charge it. So that's something that's really good. If you're traveling and you want to just charge it and throw it in your bag and not bring the charger, you're gonna be okay for like a 2-3 week trip using it every single day. I like how simple it was to use, but also if you wanted something that had more options, this isn't going to be the device for you. They did recently update their app so that you can connect this to your Bluetooth on your smartphone and have it work together. I personally hate that. It's what I don't like about the NuFace Trinity, that you are supposed to use it with the app. I don't want an app. I don't want to use it. But if that's something that would have made or break the decision of you purchasing the ZIIP Beauty, they've updated the app. It now syncs Bluetooth wise with the device and it works with it. So you can have different treatments. You can play around with the app if you want. I don't want the app. I just want to turn it on, have it beep, do the other side. That is the way I'm able to use this device the most consistent. Now, the negative to this device and any at-home device is that consistency is key. So I did this for a full 30 days. I noticed a great overall toning of my skin, both externally and internally, especially in my 40s. My jowls are falling after losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight again. So I definitely noticed like more loose facial skin, and my jowls just genetically are gonna fall based on how my mom looked in her 70s. So So it's just one of those things where this is very much preventative, but it's not going to be the full fix. It's just slowing time down a little bit for me. And then the other thing about this is I am not going to be able to be consistent every single day. I got sick, things got busy, I was tired, so I skipped a week. Now, when I look at it at night, I'll do it occasionally, but it's not an everyday thing. So when you first get it, I think you're gonna be excited, you're gonna use it for 30 days, maybe you'll even use it for 60, and you will see those results. But in order to maintain those results, you do have to use this a couple times a week. And that's okay, I know that going into it. Do I think the ZIIP Halo beauty device is worth the $399.99, essentially $400 price point? I think it is. If you are looking at cost per use and what you're getting and how long these devices will last you, I do feel like spending anywhere between $300 to $600 on an at-home beauty device, if used consistently in your 30s, it's a good investment for your overall skincare health and longevity. Because the more you take care of at home, the less you're gonna have to spend when it comes to injectables or plastic surgery, if that's something that matters to you. Now, if you're somebody that's just like, I don't care, I just want a cleanser and moisturizer, this is silly, I'm gonna age as I age and I'm not gonna even worry about it, then obviously this isn't going to be a device or a value to you. But as somebody who values seeing an esthetician, going and getting facial treatments, and while I no longer get injectables, I haven't gotten injectables in probably 8 or 9 years, because if you're getting Botox, if you're getting fillers and all of that kind of stuff, that adds up very, very quickly. Even professional facial treatments run you between $90 to $150 for the base treatment these days. And that's just cleansing, extractions, and maybe a little bit of massage. If you add in lasers, if you add in light therapy, that quickly runs you up to $300 just for one treatment. So when you look at cost per use and how long these devices last you and really what it's doing for you when used consistently, I do think it's worth the value of the device itself. The conductive gel, you can use the brand or you can use something that is going to conduct. So you can look at ultrasound gels, you can even just look at aloe. You want something that's water-based. Now, all of these beauty devices come with their own product to test out for that first month, and then you can always decide if you like that product. For me, I use it if I have it. If I'm in a pinch, I will use straight up aloe or ultrasound product because I wash it off afterwards. I don't like leaving the gel on my skin, even though you can, you just wipe it off and then you go in with the rest of your skincare routine. I just don't like the residue of it. So there are certain ones that are more luxurious, like with gold in it and things like that. That's totally up to you and how much you want to spend. You don't have to keep using the expensive gel. You could always find something on Amazon. ZIIP Beauty did give me a discount code. I think it's just my name. I'll have it go across the screen right now. And you're gonna get a little bit of percentage off if you wanted to invest in the ZIIP Beauty device. The reason I wanted to get this video up, because I think they'll probably do a Black Friday sale somewhere that sells ZIIP. These are things that I would recommend looking for during the Black Fridays, Cyber Mondays. But these are things that I personally would put on my wish list because it's just one of those more higher priced items, but definitely something that's gonna get you that cost per use if you're going to use it. So who do I think the ZIIP Halo device is right for? Anybody who's in their late 20s at the youngest, all the way from 30s and up. Those who are committed to an at-home skincare routine, who has 4 minutes to do this at home every single night or a couple times a week to see full results, those who can afford it and who value at-home skincare tools and treatments. If you already get Botox and fillers, then maybe you don't need this device on top of it because you're already spending that money in a professional setting. And a lot of the times when you're getting Botox injections and things like that, you can't use your micro devices for a while. So just look into that. Ask your practitioner if it's something that they would recommend to do at home to supplement your fillers and injectables. It's something that I love to use at home, and like I said, I'll be consistent for a while and then I'll be inconsistent and then I'll be consistent again. But overall cost per use, I find devices to be very beneficial to have at home. And if you have any questions about the ZIIP Beauty Halo device or even any of the devices you've seen me use on my socials, leave me a comment. I try to respond to them as quickly as possible, or you can find me over on Instagram. I am very active in my DMs and broadcast channel. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this type of content. I also vlog very frequently. If you like soothing types of vlogs and lifestyle videos, make sure you're subscribed. Share my content with any of those that might be interested. That always helps your creator friends out. And I will see you in my next video. I upload long form videos every Saturday morning here on this channel with short form videos going up throughout the week. You can find me on all of my socials. Everything is at Serein. And if you have any video suggestions, let me know in the comments. I will be doing some surprise videos and bonus content for the holidays. I'm very excited with lots of giveaways, so make sure to stay tuned. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye!